You have to understand, we feel all those things as well. Like, no one loves these characters more than we do, and we would not do this if we didn't feel like we had the right idea. And the part two is really kind of doubling down on that, to say we believe in this so much. We're not trying to avoid it, and we like, I've played with so many of the ideas that had different characters, and it never felt right. The Last of Us is about these two characters specifically. So yeah, the part two is, it's saying this is going to be a larger story. This is a complementary story to the first game, but the two together are going to tell this much larger tale.
You serious?
Well, Neil Druckman has done it again. He has destroyed the Last of Us franchise for a second time. And why? Because of his huge fucking ego. To be honest, after season 1, I kind of expected that Neil wouldn't change anything. I mean, he's been talking about for years how he made the right decision and people are just mad because they love Joel, and that's the only reason why people are mad. And, you know, a lot of people expected it to go this way anyway. I hoped they would change it. Like, I think a lot of people hope they change a lot of it, and they've changed a bit. Coming from someone like me I actually like season 1 a lot, and I thought the changes in season 1 were pretty good. I will say I think it needed more time to breathe, the show. I liked Ellie and Joel's performances, Pedro's and Bella's performances in the first season. I thought season 1 was pretty solid. All the characters felt like the characters, especially Ellie in the latter half. You know, in the beginning I was kind of iffy about her, but later on I kind of fell in love with that version of the character in a way. And then season 2 is happening, and we all hoped that it changed, and we saw the trailers, and then it didn't seem like it was going to change. And 3 episodes in, and it hasn't really changed. There's been some minor changes that are good and bad, honestly. Like, some of the changes they made aren't that great so far. 3 episodes in, one big one is, for some reason, in episode 1 and 3, is that they keep on focusing on this therapist character, and like, honestly, I feel like these scenes would have been 10 times more impactful if they were just talking to Tommy. I feel like if Joel was just talking to Tommy in the first season episode, in the episode 1 of season 2, and if Ellie was talking to Tommy in the 3rd episode, I feel like these conversations would have been more impactful and interesting. But otherwise, I genuinely don't understand that change, in my personal opinion. I don't think it's that compelling. She's a good actress. The scenes aren't terrible. It's just like, I don't even know why Joel would talk to this random girl. That just doesn't seem in line with this character. Other changes that they made that I'm not the biggest fan of is the Ellie fighting this 6'5" huge dude. Hey, listen, I'm not one of those people that wants to bully Bella Ramsey because she looks young, or whatever reason why people want to bully her. But there's a couple things I have problems with. One big one is how they're trying to make her this badass character when she just doesn't fit. And it's not just because of her acting, which I think she's an okay actress. It's just, I don't think this is the role for her. She doesn't fit the badass character archetype. It's just not for her. And it feels off, and it doesn't feel right. And that was the first episode. Really felt like that when she's fighting this 6'5" giant and doing MMA moves on him, like he couldn't just pick her up and throw her on the ground or punch her and kill her. It's like, you know, and they tried to save it with a line of like, oh, I could have beat you. It's like, yeah, but you show that through the fight. You don't show that through words. I mean, it's show not tell. So those are the things I had problems with in episodes 1, 2, and 3. Things I liked, before we get into the big moment that, you know, the Joel moment. Things I did like, Dina in the show, I like the actress. She's cute and fun, and she's far more interesting than the game. I like her a lot more. And honestly, that's it. I think it's paced better, maybe. I think events are happening taking longer times to breathe rather than the game, where just like boom, 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 boom. To be fair, cinematography is great. Some of the acting I think is pretty good. But the big thing is episode 2, and what happened in episode 2. And honestly, I think episode 2 was a pretty good episode. The big thing that one of the big things they changed, what I thought was really good, was having Tommy not be with Joel and having Tommy fight the Horde. And the scene was great. The runners and the clickers and the bloater fight scene battle was really good. It was strategic, it was fun. Some of the later parts of the battle, I don't know if I buy that much, but it was a good, fun battle, and I think that was a good part of the episode. Other things they changed was that I liked is that Abby, Joel and Tommy, like dumbasses, don't just say, "Oh, my name is Tommy, my address is here, and my best friend's name is this." He doesn't say all this dumb shit. Dina is actually the one that reveals Joel's name in a panic mode because she didn't know where he was, which is still pretty convenient. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, the Joel finding Abby will never not be convenient. It will never not be convenient, and it just won't. But I do like the change of Dina being the one to say his name. But yeah, the first half of the episode I think is pretty good up until we get to the moment that we all hate. And not because when Joel and Dina get captured by them, it doesn't suck, because I think people have this misunderstanding that it sucks in the game and the show because Joel dies. But it's not really about Joel dying. It's how and when he dies. I'm going to talk about the how part first. I think the how really matters because when you're killing off a very important character, you have to earn it, and you have to feel like the villain or the character that did it earned it. Here, it didn't feel like an earned death. It just felt like random bullshit, honestly. He happens to run into her, and then Dina happens to say his name, and then they happen to have to go towards her camp, even though there's a fire at his home camp, so they have to go over there, even though they were gonna go 3 minutes later anyway. And then once they're there, she just beats him to death in the second episode. In terms of the game, it's the first 2 hours. We don't get time with Joel. We don't get moments with Joel. We get nothing with Joel, especially in the game. We get nothing with him. And it's not a fun journey for a character that you love. He dies in a dumb way because everything is coincidental, and he dies early on in a dumb way, which makes it even worse because we don't have time to develop more emotional beats with him, especially after years of not having him in the game and in the show. It wasn't a good decision, and after watching the show, it still isn't a good decision because I'm kind of feeling left what is the point of watching this, to be honest? And I know what happens in the game. A lot of things still play out the same, basically, except another big thing that sucks about it. And when I say that they don't give the character time to breathe or give the character the time to act like the character, he kind of feels like a neutered version of himself. Still in the show, he still feels neutered, even though he was softer in season 1 than in the game, in the first game. He still feels like a neutered version of himself. He never defends himself. Multiple times he could tell Ellie how it is. He could be like, "Ellie, they were gonna kill you. Ellie, there was no evidence that a cure or vaccine was able to be manufactured based on your brain. Ellie, how do you know that these people will use this vaccine for good? How do you know this militia group isn't just going to take the vaccine for themselves and use it to gain more power in the world? How do you know they'll use it for good? Ellie, because I saved your life, you met Dina, you met Jesse, you meet all the people in the hometown, and you met friends you love now. Like, how are you so mad at this thing? Ellie, you have to grow up. Honestly, like, Joel never defends himself. And when he's confronted with Abby, another character that's just talking down to him the entire time, he could just say, Abby, your father was gonna murder my daughter, and I'm happy I killed that man. Because he was gonna murder her without her consent. He's gonna cut open her brain with a vaccine with no evidence without her consent. That's what was gonna happen, Abby. Your father was gonna be a murderer. That's what it would happen. But Joel never says this. He stays quiet, and he just takes bullshit from Ellie, from Abby, from everyone. And it's from the therapist. It's like, oh my God. Characters need to be able to justify their actions. They need to be. Or I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, he's just getting bullied the entire time. He doesn't feel like the Joel in the game, and he doesn't even feel like the Joel from season 1. Honestly, I'm just kind of with this show. I don't think it's the worst show in the world. It's probably better than the game. I don't know, but it's boring and uninteresting, and I'm not interested in later on. Even though I like Dina, even though I like Jesse, even though I like Tommy, I don't really like Ellie, but even though I like those characters, I'm not that interested in continuing on, especially since I know the story. And this is all because Neil Druckman doesn't really care about creating the best story and changing his ways and saying, hey, listen, they didn't like this, and this. Let's just change it. Let's make a new show. Obviously, he would never do that because he loves the smell of his farts so much. Well, I guess maybe I'll make another video about this. How did you guys feel about 3 episodes? Maybe you guys liked it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Thank you. Bye.